Tonight, the rules of dinners and parties. How to tell an anecdote.
What happened after that?
Remembering names and faces.
Nothing.
And how to survive a children's party. This is How Not to Behave.
Hello, I'm Gretel Khalid.
And I'm Matt O'Kine.
And this is How Not to Behave, the show where every week we provide you with a brand new recipe for societal bliss. A recipe based around one crucial ingredient: manners.
Yes, tonight we look at dinners and parties because, let's face it, Gretel, humans are social creatures.
Oh, so true. And it is with the breaking of bread and the sharing of plonk that we celebrate, mourn, comfort, or just stuff our gobs. So let's start at the posh end with dinner parties.
Nearly 50% of Australians would like to host more dinner parties, but how should you behave to ensure a friendly meal doesn't turn into your last supper? Is it rude to shotgun the biggest piece of chicken? Can you sit at the table and drink straight from the goon bag?
No.
Should you play footsies with the person's sister sitting across from you?
No, you should not. It's a minefield. So let's get this party started with the lowdown on dinner party etiquette.
Dinner parties are supposed to be fun for the guests as well as the host, but too often people forget to follow the rules. Arrival times are difficult for some people to master. The trick is not to arrive too early. Any time before the suggested arrival time is too early.
Who the f*** is that?
What time is it?
Who the f*** gets here at 7 o'clock?
What time is it?
I don't know what time it is.
It's not 7 o'clock.
Is.
O'clock on the invitation.
I didn't put 7 o'clock on the invitation.
Hi.
Hello. Come in. We're running a bit late.
Yeah, I've been knocking for ages.
No, that's fine.
Terry, I find your marathon running ridiculously. I was just showing Pete here some photos from this half marathon that I just did on the weekend.
Yeah, right.
Here,
Oh, right, yeah.
you take it.
Every dinner party has an annoying guest. Sitting next to the annoying guest is an important public service, as you act as a human shield.
So, yeah, that's me in the car on the way.
The human shield system is dependent upon each guest doing their shift.
Hey, Lynn,
Excuse.
do you mind if we swap seats? Dying to see these marathon photos.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Looks like I'm popular tonight, eh? Former Q ladies. Yeah.
These days, many guests will have specific dietary requirements. However, as the host, you don't need to be too accommodating.
So, Lynn, you are gluten-free, so quinoa salad for you. Terry's doing paleo, asparagus quiche and green salad. Trace, we just cooked you up bacon and eggs because you're still persisting with the Atkins. And Max, you're on the 5-2, so we cooked you nothing.
Oh, it's actually not a fast day today, so I'm actually kind of hungry.
But the ultimate dinner party rule is to try not to outstay your welcome.
Come on, mate, it's time for bed. I've got an early start tomorrow.
You want to see my half marathon victory lap? Yeah, I did it again. Look, here's a whole new album. Here we go. Just kicking off.
Good night.
There we go.
You know, I actually just tell people to leave. That's what you do. You just go, all right, guys, you're going to have to go. That's as simple as that.
How does that go down?
It's fine. Everyone understands.
Is
They're
that
like,
because they want to go?
Well, no, I just think that they realise, like, you got to just say, hey, time's up.
You are the most antisocial person.
I'm just real.
Are you obliged to invite the partner of your friend to a dinner party?
Yes, of course. I mean, they come as a package deal.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, that is just so false. Because sometimes people have a partner who's just unacceptable.
Well, what do you do to avoid that then?
You have to find out when they're going to be away.
Do you allocate seats for your guests?
Yes, it makes them feel special and it takes the pressure off.
Oh, that's too much. You could just do much. Let me choose wherever I want to sit.
You're not coming to my house? Should you only be allowed to drink the drinks that you brought?
No, because I like trying other things. I like variety.
All right.
Should you offer to clean up?
You should offer, but don't move.
Yeah. You can offer, just don't mean it. That's how I feel as well. Yeah.
And finally, what about thank you texts? Should you say thank you?
Yeah, if you're the host, you should definitely say thank you.
What about if you're a guest?
Not if you're a guest. You're not... Look, okay, here's the thing. If you're the guest, you're doing them a favour by making them feel good about putting on their party, all right? I'm serious. I'm not thanking you with a text for having me at a party. Look, when I have a party and people come, I'm like, hey, thanks for coming to my party. I know that it was out of your way. You've probably done, you could have done anything on a Saturday night, but you've come to my house. That's very kind of you. Thanks for the bottle of wine that you left in the fridge. You're never getting it back.
According to an article in the Huffington Post, the most common gripes around dinner parties include the host being stressed and not relaxed or eating with their guests, plates being cleared before everyone's finished eating, and organising games and forcing everyone to get involved.
My personal hate, okay, pet peeve, you got to have enough space for drinks. Please know that people are going to be bringing beers and they're not going to be playing fridge Tetris just to fit them in, okay?
Dinner parties are like a dance. They're an art form. Everybody has to play their role. Do you know what I think? You should have an interval, and if someone's not pulling their weight, singing for their supper, you vote them off the island. Which leads us to tonight's poll. When the dinner is over, how quickly can you leave without appearing rude? Well, 39% said less than 30 minutes. 30 minutes after the meal, that is rude. 35% 30 to 60 minutes. And 3.5% said over 2 hours.
You have to stick around for more than 2 hours.
Yes.
That's way too long.
Do you know this is making me really sad?
Why?
Because it's so ungracious. It's so demanding. I think it's your generation. It's very self-obsessed.
I think you're having a dinner party so that people will praise you.
Yes, I am. But also, I like people coming together.
Sure.
I mean, all your generation does is accept things on Facebook, not turn up, and when you do consume food, you take photos of it.
I'm not a massive fan of dinner parties, but I'd take a dinner party over a kids' party any day.
Actually, that's interesting because they are incredibly stressful. Let's take a look at the mixed lolly bag that is the rule book of kids' parties.
Hosting a kid's birthday party is one of the most stressful experiences the modern parent will be subjected to. The question of who to invite is a difficult one. For young children, the tendency is to invite everyone they've ever met. This is a common mistake that invariably leads to chaos.
Jacob, will you put that down? Brianna, stop pushing Zoe. Cooper, leave the cat alone. No.
Children's parties are like romantic comedies. They should never be longer than 2 hours. All parties must be tightly structured, with time allocated for free play, organised games, singing the song from Frozen, and a cake ceremony. When it comes to the cake, you should make it yourself, but this should not be seen as an opportunity to cake shame other mums. Kids' entertainment is important, and it's become increasingly popular to outsource it to a third party. But as host, it is up to you to ensure all performances are age appropriate.
Well, I'm going to perform for you today my favourite poems from the Vagina Monologues.
When I was a kid, I didn't enjoy birthday parties. We didn't have many of them, but I can remember we had this game where all the kids had to be in fancy dress and then run around the block, and some just didn't come back.
Now, though, when it comes to presents and stuff, kids are setting up and parents are setting up digital registries, right? Is this okay?
No.
So that guests have to tick off whatever they're going to bring to give to your child.
How much should you spend on a present?
I would say 20, 25 max, okay?
I think you should make the present.
Oh, that's going to be shit, isn't it? What would you... What the hell are you going to make?
Like a papier-mâché vase or something.
A papier-mâché vase?
All right, papier-mâché.
Oh, yeah, let's use paper to make some waterproof product.
No, you can.
Can you really?
Papier-mâché shoes.
Oh, God.
I think kids are too spoilt, and the best time to bring them into line is their birthday.
It's with papier-mâché.
No, bring them into line.
Papier-mâché anything sucks, okay?
You know what? Do you know what we call it in our house?
What?
When my children's birthday, I celebrate it. Giving birthday.
What do you mean?
They have to give me presents.
What, for their birthday?
Yeah. What about if you arrive at a party and you see a much bigger, better wrapped present than your own? Is it all right to swap the cards? Is that all right?
No, that's not okay.
Oh well.
No. But people do spend a fortune on parties. Beyonce and Jay-Z, they dropped $200,000 on their daughter Blue Ivy's first birthday party. 50 grand Barbie. How's that?
Yeah, but, not everyone has that kind of money to throw around. And when you send out an invitation and you've booked some sort of location for this party, it costs people money. One woman, when a little kid didn't turn up, sent the invoice to his parents, a no-show fee of £16. Is that okay? Don't look at the people and judge them by their appearance.
I'm just impressed by the invoice. It looks very official,
I think they have every right. I'm not happy about them going to social media to do their whinging either. They made a commitment, and this woman's out of pocket. I think they should pay the money, plus interest.
Interest?
Yeah, $16.20.
So many rules when you're a kid, and I feel like I may have missed out on a few because I didn't care about, say, table manners. All right? And I don't even know whether... Is that a thing that people care about?
Yes.
To this day? Well, we sent the ill-mannered Zoe Coombs-Marr and Jordan Raskopoulos out with a hidden camera crew to find out.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. This is really hot. Try again.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
Some rice?
Thank you. Do you want to try some of this?
Yeah, please.
Oh, that is good.
It's good.
All right. Do you have a doggy bag anywhere?
I brought these.
Like, just pop that in there.
Yeah, that's it.
That's good. Need a toothpick? Oh, she's right. I'm going to take this to the toilet.
Okay.
I know for a fact that as comedians, they were both just like to get a free meal.
Is that okay? Let's go straight to the horse's mouth. He's one of Australia's busiest chefs. He's an author, a TV host, a restaurateur. He's got his finger in a lot of pies, and he's cooked a few as well. Would you please welcome Matt Moran?
So, Matt, how are your table manners compared to that, you reckon?
There's a place that, you can be at home and not have them. But if you're out, on a date or whatever, you've got to have some sort of manners, I think.
What did you used to do that you wouldn't do now?
Well, as a young kid, I'm pretty, sort of set in my ways. And as a young kid, and quite stubborn. And if I didn't want to eat something, I'd just sort of, straight down onto the floor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, especially when my parents weren't home and I was being looked after. I'd try and hide peas behind the couch and things like that. But, I like peas now, it's all right.
What's some of the worst manners you've seen in your restaurants?
We've got a kitchen table at Aria, and we had a party of 8 people in there, and they got incredibly drunk, and we've got these beautiful brass placemats, and one of the guys nicked them. And it was very obvious because he actually was asking whether you could buy one, during the night. And, when they booked the kitchen table, they leave a deposit and their phone number and everything else.
And their fingerprints.
So I've actually rang the guy, or the girl actually, and she was incredibly embarrassed. And it arrived back that afternoon.
But a lot of people don't realise that a restaurant is actually a business. There's a lot of time wasting. Can you tell us about the wanting to be seated in a different place nowadays, the Instagramming of food, the sending things back? How have things like that changed?
Look, there's that whole rumour, isn't it, when you send something back, that, we're going to, spit on it or do something to it. I've never seen it, actually. But I always make out that that's what we do, you know.
What, because it's good for business?
Or just to friends, you know. Do you really do? Yeah, of course we do. Throw around, have a game of soccer and send it back out again. Instagramming, well, look, you know, that's a big thing in restaurants now because...
is it okay to Instagram?
I think it is, yeah. To me, I see it as a compliment. But, you know, what it does do, you know, I saw a Instagram the other day and it had the parents and the 3 kids, and the kids were on computers or, you know, iPads or whatever, and the parents were, you know, on their phones or whatever. The whole family around were just all sitting there. And it had on the bottom, quality family time. So I think it sort of disrupts, you know, the conversation, you know, because someone's always on the phone.
What about people who make variations on the menu?
Well, that is a big thing nowadays because so many more people have allergies. And there was a time in my cooking career that, you know, that's what it is and that's what stays. But over the years, you know, you wouldn't have any customers, so you've got to really, you know, sort of adapt. You know, and it can be difficult sometimes.
I can't
believe I'm saying that, actually.
Why? You usually
well, you know,
actually hate it?
Years ago I was so adamant this is what the dish is and you can't change it at all.
What about people who, without even tasting the food, reach for the salt and pepper and start eating it? How do you feel?
Yeah, look, that is, I don't like that. Everyone's taste buds are different. You know, you might like something sweeter or saltier or whatever it is. I think you should always try the food first and then decide it, not straight away. You know, food sits down there, you pour on the salt and then complain that it's, you know, too salty. And that happens.
Yeah.
That happens. So, you know, I think you've at least got to try it first.
Do you have dinner parties in your own home?
A lot, yeah, I love them. Love them.
Why do you love them? We need to teach Matt the joy of a dinner party.
Well, you know...
I feel like it would be weird that you're having dinner parties at home. That's like me inviting friends over and telling a few jokes while they sit around the couch, you know?
So when you do, you're not funny when you have friends over?
Well, no, but I mean, it just feels weird to bring your work at home. Like, wouldn't you prefer the time off? Wouldn't you?
No, see, I love food. And I find cooking at home incredibly therapeutic and totally opposite to the restaurants. You know, a lot of people think, you know, Matt Moran, fine dining, you know, that's what he must eat every night. It's not uncommon for me on a Sunday night to have a boiled egg and soldiers.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you add salt?
Yeah, I add salt and pepper. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, what do you do if a friend of yours has a partner that you don't like and you don't want them? Do you invite them anyway?
Yeah, you have to, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that happens all the time, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's
all my friends are going to be sitting there thinking, oh, which one of us?
What about RSVPing? What are the rules to a dinner party?
Look, you know, normally I think when anyone has a dinner party, the invitations go out, what, a week to 2 weeks? If you RSVP, you really should sort of not cancel any later than, you know, sort of 4 or 5 days, I reckon. Just so the other people don't feel guilty when you know, fill those positions. I've actually called people the day before and said, hey, look, you know, we've just decided to have a lunch party tomorrow. Do you want to come? Yeah, sure. They turn up and you can obviously see that I've been cooking for 2 days. So they know that they've actually been, you know, just thrown in at the last minute.
What do you do with the leftover wine that people leave over? Do you try to give it back to them or you just smash it when they leave at 9?
I've always had a rule that I know what wine I want to drink, and if you bring a nice bottle and we don't drink it, I'll actually write your name on it, and next time you come over, we'll drink it then. Unless
nice.
I have a really big dinner party and we're out of a bit of wine and then I drink it.
What is a good price range?
Oh, look, it's, you know...
For a normal dinner party?
If you're bringing one bottle of wine, I reckon around, you know, $40, $50.
I heard the words 4 and I was like, yeah, that's about right, yeah. Well, before we move on, when you're at a party, what's your strategy for remembering people's names? You must meet people all the time.
Look, not just a party, but, you know, just in general. The rule is if you walk up to someone and you don't know their name, I tell my partner, you know, if I haven't introduced you within 3 seconds, your hand goes out and you say your name and you get their name.
Doesn't always work though, does it?
Doesn't always work, no.
You know, they found the best way to remember is to just concentrate.
Just concentrate.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please thank Matt Moran?
Thanks, guys.
Now, remembering names is always a troublesome field to find yourself in, but here's the guide to faking it till you're making it.
Well, hello there.
Hi.
you?
Sometimes you meet someone you know but do not recognise. You must politely play along and comb the conversation for clues.
What did you get up to on the weekend?
Well, my boyfriend and I just got back from visiting family in Perth. Got a lot of old school friends there too, so it was pretty hectic. But we basically just spent yesterday just hanging out on the couch. I'm so glad we live at the beach. So, anything interesting happened at the office on Friday while I was gone? Did you miss me?
Of course.
Well, hello there.
You can also own up to your momentary face blindness and admit you are unable to recognise the person.
I'm sorry, I'm terrible with faces. How did we meet again?
We've worked together for the last 5 years in the same company. I'm in the cubicle next to you.
Nothing.
If you've just met someone, asking for clarification of their name is permitted.
I'm sorry, I'm so embarrassed. I've completely forgotten your name.
Oh, no, that's okay. I'm bad with names too. I'm Amy.
Lauren.
Hi.
Devising a system to remember someone's name is advisable, but remember never to reveal that system.
I'm Amy.
Oh, of course. Amy.
Beyond memory devices, there are several ways to indirectly extract a name. One method is the wingman technique.
You would love my friend Rose.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
you should meet her.
Thanks, yeah.
Hey, Rose.
Hi, I'm Rose.
Oh, hi, Rose. I'm Amy.
Hello,
Hi,
Amy.
nice to meet you.
But occasionally, this can fail.
That'd be great, yeah.
Hey, Rose.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Rose.
Oh, hi. How you going? Hi.
Well, that didn't work.
You know, Gretel, there are actually tricks that you can use to remember people's names. So there's the meet and repeat, where you say the person's name back to them like you're an idiot.
Or some people have suggested that you spell the person's name, like Matt. M-A-T-T. Matt.
I've actually got a technique. This is my strategy for remembering names. Okay, well, if you forget someone's names, what you do is, right, you say we're in the same situation, we meet someone, I go, oh, Gretel, this is Paul, Paul, this is Gretel, right? I have no idea what Paul's real name is. You just say Paul, and then he'll be like, oh, no, what did you call me Paul for? I'm Michael. And you go, oh, what did I say? And they'll be like, Paul. And you go, oh, I wonder why I said Paul. Oh, Paul's my friend's name. I was thinking about him just before. It works like a treat.
Well, it used to work and now everybody knows about it and you can't use it anymore. Did you know that there's this thing called face blindness? It's a genuine cognitive disorder. It's also known as prosopagnosia. And they're people who are born without the ability to recognise faces.
They just see blurs.
Yeah.
Just like one big A Current Affair episode about dodgy neighbours.
Yeah, it's exactly it.
What do you bring to a party apart from food and wine?
What?
Good conversation. Here are the rules on how to tell the most incredible story ever.
So we hit cruising altitude and everything's going fine, right? All of a sudden, over the PA, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to experience some mild turbulence. Mild turbulence, right?
To truly enjoy a party, it is essential to master the art of conversation.
There's an air hostess strapped into a chair begging for a quick death, right? And what happened after that? Do we crash or do we land? Anyway, got home, watched some Modern Family. Weird day, you know. Ever been on a plane?
Everyone has at least one good story to tell. But what happens when you've heard that story before?
And I am wearing two entirely different shoes. I must have looked like a crazy person.
Wearing one sneaker and one stiletto. Oh my God, talk about a brain snap.
You have 5 seconds to decide how to react, all while racing against the progress of the
Time
anecdote.
to even look at the mirror.
Oh, this is a great story that you told me last week.
Oh, of course I did. I'm sorry.
Honesty is often appreciated, as long as it's delivered tactfully.
The mirror.
Time's up. I've heard this one before and you told it heaps better last time. Boring.
Attention is an increasingly scarce resource, and in some cases, it is okay to spice up an anecdote.
So I get up the top, I've got the broom handle in my hand, ready to go. I just whack the nest. Just whack it. And bad idea? Yeah, I think it was a bad idea. Because there are thousands of them everywhere. So I race down the tree like a cheetah, like 100 metres ahead of them, and then I've already been stung like 1,000,000 times.
But remember, it is only ever acceptable to embellish your own story.
That isn't your story. You weren't even there.
So I'm laying naked on the couch. I'm wearing the most beautiful necklace I have ever worn, Heart of the Ocean.
You know, some people really struggle with conversation. They really don't know how to do it. And you can go online and find conversation starters. Suggested questions are, if you wanted to look very sexy, how would you dress? Discuss. What vegetable do you most resemble? What? Name the most terrifying moment of your life so far.
Probably when you ask me about what vegetable I most resemble. Jesus. Well, what if someone is telling a boring story? Do you cut them off?
I don't cut them off, but sometimes I pretend to faint.
Do you do that full hand up and everything like that?
I just go...
I just put my finger up to their lips and go, shh.
Do you know what I do? Sometimes when I'm talking to someone and I feel like they're really just enduring it, I add things to the conversation just to catch them up. Like, and then I died.
And they're just like, yeah?
No, they're not looking at my breasts. They're looking over my shoulder at someone more interesting who's alive.
Well, the oven's on, the table's set, and we're all ready to partay. Gretel, what have we served up tonight?
OK, we have learnt this.
If you don't turn up to Gretel's party, expect an invoice.
Don't invite Matt to your party unless you have an enormous fridge.
Paper mache vases are the gift that keep on giving. Well, Gretel keeps on giving them.
Yes, I do. And I truly love hosting this show with my good friend, Paul. P-A-U-L.
Join us next week when we continue to fix the world one rule at a time. Good night.
Good night.